Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin. Welcome back to another edition of latest Chelsea news. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea see the progress under Mauricio Pochettino, and his job is safe from everything we are hearing. The results in the Premier League and performances recently have been good. So, look, let's be honest. The results have been positive, yes, but the performance not entirely always that great. If we are being absolutely honest, I think each and every one of us can tell that even in recent times when we've won, there's been some sour taste that's been left behind. Only probably the last one against Fulham, and even that, a lot of you guys will probably tell me that wasn't complete either. I felt that it was a hard-fought victory, at least this time around against Fulham. At the end of the game, I didn't feel that sour taste, but by no means the performances have been good. Let's be absolutely honest about that. Look, I think we all have to agree for the time being that Mauricio Pochettino, he's not going anywhere. Regardless of what happens, I've even seen some, comments and some quotes floating around stating that even if we don't make it to the Carabao Cup final, because let's be honest, we have to beat Middlesbrough. But even for some reason, let's say we don't beat Middlesbrough, Mauricio Pochettino's job is absolutely safe. There is no way he's getting the sack at the moment. Even if we get knocked out in the FA Cup, he's not getting the sack. Even if we continue to falter in the Premier League, he's not getting sacked. So this is coming from Fabrizio Romano, and probably the most top source that you can rely on. So look, as I said, we have to simply embrace this and accept this. We have to see how the season ends, and then I guess we can make a decision, because Pochettino has a 2-year contract. At the end of this season, he'll have one more year left in the contract, and there is an option for a further one if we do want to trigger that. So we just have to assess right at the end of the season where we finish up, what do we achieve this season, and make a proper judgment. So for the time being, it is what it is. I know if we don't end up beating Middlesbrough next up and not make it to the Carabao Cup final, it'll be all hell. Hell will break loose. No doubts about that, because the situation is very volatile. The only way you can rectify this, and not rectify completely, but somewhat get a bit of time, credit basically for Pochettino, is you have to, as I've said, prior to the Fulham game, you've got to win Fulham, which we have. You've got to be able to beat Middlesbrough and go to the final, and you definitely have to beat Aston Villa to progress in the FA Cup. And then only you might get a little bit of time extended. But then the fixtures that's following after Aston Villa is absolutely mad. So we have to still be competitive in those fixtures and pick up as many 3 points as possible. Because even after this stretch of 3 games, say we pick up all the wins, after that, if the faults still, recur back, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. So let's see what happens. But the bottom line is, Mauricio Pochettino, for the time being, from owners and the board perspective, he's not going anywhere. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, how you feel about that. Breaking, Christopher Nkunku is pushing to return to training this week in a boost to Chelsea. Look, I mean, I don't want to get too gassed up about Nkunku anymore. I got so gassed last time. And then he ended up getting injured, and he missed 3 matches in a row. Preston, Middlesbrough, and Fulham. 3 matches that I wanted to see him and get that match fitness back and get that match sharpness back. He's an important player for us. But now he's starting to make me feel that he's genuinely injury prone. So let's just hope and see how he returns back into training, full training, and see how his body copes. And then one game at a time. I'm not putting all my eggs on Nkunku basket anymore. He is a very important player, but I need to see how his health, progresses, because it feels like any moment he can be injured again. And much like that Reece James scenario. So let's see what happens. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive from Nathan Gissing. Some of you might want to call him as Nathan Guessing. Chelsea have discussed Aston Villa striker John Duran as a short-term option internally. Short-term options have been flying around left, right, and centre over the last 24 hours. Chelsea are keen to buy a striker, bring in a striker. And I think it is necessary. The first thing we need to acknowledge is bringing in a striker is definitely necessary. We were talking about Karim Benzema, Roberto Firmino, although I think our owners, they have a very strong relationship with the Saudis, and perhaps a deal can be done with players in Saudi Arabia. But talking about Firmino and Benzema, it just feels like a bit too far-fetched for me. Firmino, for me, I don't think, after playing so many years and potentially, I'm pretty sure he's a legend of Liverpool, to come and play for Chelsea Football Club, I can't see how that happens. And Karim Benzema, the wages he's on at Al Ittihad is absolutely ridiculous. And why Chelsea? Why Chelsea for Karim Benzema? But besides that, John Duran. Look, a lot of you guys might say, who? What? John Duran is, I'm pretty sure he's another one of those potentials youngsters. I don't know too much about him. All I know is Aston Villa don't start with him. Yeah, he does come on and I think he's done well here and there, but it's another one of those potential ones. Like, can we not have these potentials? Short-term option as John Duran? No. Short-term option is of the caliber of Firmino and Benzema. Like, if you're looking at that, if you're not getting that, look at Taremi, for example, and many other have talked about Mitrovic, for example, from Al Hilal. Like, if they are available, John Duran. What's the difference between John Duran and Armando Broja or Nicholas Jackson? Do you know what I mean? Like, this does not make sense to me. Let me know in the comment section once again how you feel about John Duran. I just don't want another potential. I don't want another youngster. Let this be a project for Aston Villa. Why is this a project for Chelsea Football Club? So it just, if Chelsea end up doing ridiculous stuff like that in this transfer window, please, Chelsea, I put my two hands together. Don't do anything. Don't do anything at all if that's what you're going to do. Next up, Pochettino's use of Levi Colwill has caused some frustration inside and outside of Stamford Bridge, coming from Outlaw. 100%. 100%. I mean, this guy, this kid, really, he's not a left back. And we are potentially going to ruin his reputation by continuously playing him at left back, where he's struggling. He's getting smoked. Funnily enough, against Fulham, in the first probably 10 minutes, he was getting smoked. There was one time, I think it was Andres Pereira that went around him. But after that, he actually, cleaned up his act. Defensively, he was very, very good. Offensively as well, he was making some really good runs. But I don't want him to be left back. This guy is not an answer for us left back. If it's all about height, Pochettino, please, just allow this season with this height nonsense. Once Ben Chilwell is fully fit, which he is now, start putting him as left back, see how he goes. And then you've got Cucurella to come back as well. We had Ian Maatsen. You didn't want to use him. We'll talk about Ian Maatsen straight after this. Just let Levi Colwill be the CB. Let him flourish in the CB position. Don't ruin his, performances, his reputation by playing him on left back and exposing him. So look, Levi Colwill, I can fully understand frustration inside and outside of Stamford Bridge because, he's got immense potential. He really does have immense potential. So let's see what happens down the track now that Chilwell is back. We've already seen Chilwell getting deployed as a winger on the match against Fulham. So surely this shenanigan needs to stop, because by putting Chilwell as a winger, you're also stopping Mudryk, being utilized. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, Fabrizio Romano, exclusive story on Ian Maatsen, new deal at Chelsea confirmed, contract until 2027 agreed. So before he went to Dortmund, signed a new contract for till 2027 with Chelsea, basically protecting his value. Release clause also confirmed, clause worth £35 million starting from June 2024. So straight after this season finishes in the summer, his release clause is activated. Final decision always up to player, now on loan at BVB. And Borussia Dortmund seems to, already has started him on left back position, and he seems very comfortable. I'm not even surprised. I knew he was going to be comfortable, and I think his football, his style, his skill set will absolutely fit Dortmund. That's exactly what Dortmund has always looked for in their left back, in the likes of Rafael Guerrero, and even before that, many other left backs that they had, always seem to have that flying nature about them. And I think Ian Maatsen will give that. And the word apparently inside Chelsea's camp is that that release clause will be triggered by Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund, even though it's on a loan at the moment, and then the release clause will come in an activation in next summer window, Chelsea Football Club fully believe that Borussia Dortmund, wants this player on a permanent basis. So this is good. If we can get £35 million for Ian Maatsen, I think that's great business. I would have liked to have seen him at Chelsea Football Club because I truly do believe in him, but not to be. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea have been found not to have broken profit and sustainability rules and are safe for the next another 12 months Forest and Everton have been charged by the Premier League. This is fantastic news. I love the fact that, in terms of financial fair play, the sustainability rules, we're within the rules and regulation. I think this is because of the large number of players we let go of, especially the academy players that we let go of last summer, which were pure profit for us, which has definitely helped out with the cause. Now we'll see what happens with all of those other little bits and pieces that Roman did under the table. The Willian or Eden Hazard agent talks, and Willian, under the table payments and all of that other nonsense that happens. I don't know whether they fall under the sustainability rules. I think they're separate cases. We'll see what happens with those. But for the time being, this is great news that we're not taking any points deduction. We're not in trouble. Everton and Nottingham Forest are in trouble. Everton again. I mean, they've already had 10 points deduction. God knows how many more points they're going to get deducted. I think they are in course to be relegated. Premier League wants them to be relegated. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed all the latest news. Let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about in the comment section. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Probably won't have it live tomorrow because All You Can Eat Chelsea is on tomorrow, so do look out for that. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care and see ya.